Bore da pawb, croeso I Caerdydd, y brifddinas gorau yn y byd, the best capital city in the world. Do we have many delegates here from Swansea? Well, Swansea's the best second city in the world. I didn't want them to feel left out. Plaid Cymru good, Labour bad. Right, Labour bashing, box ticked, fine. Okay, we can maybe talk about the important stuff now. Identity, Cardiff, Wales, and Plaid. I'm Cardiff born, Cardiff bred, and as we say, when I die, I'll be Cardiff dead, or when I dies, I'll be Cardiff dead. I saw that Sam Warburton didn't describe himself as Welsh recently, and I wouldn't criticise him for that, because identity is very personal. I'll tell you a little story about me 20 years ago, back in the day. I was in Calella de la Costa in Spain, and all week around the swimming pool, I was Mr. Wales. I'd had the towel, dry goch. Wales was the best place in the world. Anyway, one night, we're all walking out with all the English people, and I'm walking past this nightclub, and it was a Danish lad, slim, tall, tight, curly blonde hair, and he had bands on his arms. So my recollection is you know, it's there. And he said to me, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Oh, I'm from Wales," really proudly. And he said, "Dych chi'n siarad Cymraeg?" So I looked at him and I said, "I'm sorry, mate, I don't speak Danish." All right? Then he kept on going on saying, "Siarad Cymraeg, siarad Cymraeg." And in the end, I thought, I've had enough of this. I said, "Listen, I've told you I don't speak Danish." And then he said to me in perfect English, which made it worse. He said, "I've just asked you in your own language, do you speak Welsh?" Now, you can imagine all the English people I was with all week erupted with laughter. You know, I'm not the tallest of people, but I felt even smaller. And how could that happen? How could that happen? I grew up in Wales, and as I said, identity is a very personal thing. My background is, my dad is English, of Irish extraction as well. My maternal grandfather was from the Yemen. I was educated as a Catholic. Somewhere in there, there's a bit of Swiss as well. Half English, half Welsh, Welsh Arab. For a time, it wasn't really clear to me personally where I sat. And then, as time went by, it sort of became blindingly obvious that I'm Welsh. And I think Cardiff and Wales are on the same kind of journey, really. There are lots of native English speakers in Wales. And you know, I would like to live in a country where everybody knows from a very early age exactly what they are and exactly where they're from. I'm Welsh because I live in Wales, and I choose to be Welsh. It's that simple. And I think the best things in life usually are simple. It's our job as a political party, as Plaid Cymru, to create the kind of Wales where everybody knows that and everybody feels comfortable with that. We can campaign and have success, as we do, but I think the best way of doing it is through political power and winning elections, and that's our job in Plaid Cymru. If you indulge me to talk about Cardiff for a moment, 10 years ago, in terms of elections, we really weren't on the map in this city. We had a great pioneer, the late David Hughes, who won Plasmower in 1970. We had a tremendous overseas signing from the neighbouring authority when the borders were rearranged. Delmy Bowen was brilliant councillor, but who was brought into Cardiff. I joined as a councillor in 2003, and we didn't actually win our first inner-city election in Cardiff, other than 1970, until 2004 in Riverside. In 2008, we then won 7 seats, and as you know, we ran the city in coalition. We actually increased our votes in 2012, but we lost seats. If PR would be the system, we'd have 10 seats in Cardiff now. It's International Women's Day tomorrow. We've got a fantastic councillor in Lisa Ford, my big sister, who keeps me in line quite often. Recently, we've had two brilliant candidates, Lizzie Gould in Riverside and Ellen Tydia in Camden. Now, the Camden by-election was a few weeks ago when we were told by the press that we weren't doing too well in the polls in terms of the European election. Yeah, I think I would call it our fair water formula was used, and we got a 12% swing from Labour to Plaid. So a formerly safe Labour seat is now a marginal. And we'll win it in 2017. We'll win Riverside, we'll win Fairwater, and we'll win Grangetown. We'll win those seats because of what we will do in this city. And winning elections, it's not rocket science. It's not down to events, it's not down to luck or anything else. It's down to what me, you, and everybody in this hall and beyond do in our communities. I think with activity, we can make Plaid a political epidemic. And we need social interactions of every kind. And it's doing the little things in our communities that matter, and caring for our neighbours and having those conversations. And yes, my tea bags are doing the rounds in Fairwater. Last year in Cardiff, the council voted not to build a Welsh medium school in Grangetown. And Cardiff Plaid, we called a meeting, we met with parents, and it was the parents that took over the campaign, not us. It was a parental-led campaign. I called the matter into scrutiny. Scrutiny overturned the cabinet decision. Now, yesterday, Cardiff Council announced 2 options for a new Welsh medium school in this city, Grangetown or one in Butetown. Neither solutions are ideal, but we forced the Labour Party into giving us an option of building a Welsh medium school, and it's parent power at its best, really. I said last summer that the Ymgyrch Tag campaign, the Grange campaign, would be the first time in Cardiff's history where a Welsh language campaign was a vote winner. And I was right. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to be the only time. A few weeks back, we had dreadful budget cuts announced. So I met with parents. The only time we could fit in was during the Rugby International, Wales-Ireland. So I met them then. With the result, I'm glad I didn't see it, actually. But we decided then that we would call a referendum on saving Grangetown Play Centre. And a political ripple went through the city, went through local politicians. I never thought I'd see the day where I'd see children with placards bringing a Labour AGM to a halt. It was fantastic. It's on YouTube as well worth seeing. Anyway, just to come back to the point, the Play Centre will stay open. Yeah? Cardiff... Play centres across this city are going to stay open. The youth centres are going to stay open. We forced them to do a U-turn. Now, they're only guaranteed until the end of the year, so there's a lot more work to do, but that is what we've done in campaigning in our communities, which brings me to the biggest campaign that we have now, which is the local development plan. Now, just before the elections in 2012, the First Minister in the Senedd said that Cardiff Plaid Cymru's claims that Labour were going to build on greenfield sites was wholly and completely untrue. He also called it a blatant lie. All right? The Cardiff West AM said that Plaid Cymru was scaremongering, and it was disgraceful, and that the First Minister had set the record straight. Now, if you read today's press, they're saying the same things again. But 12 weeks later, Labour announced that the green fields in Cardiff were going to be built on. So I'll ask you the question, who lied? Who lied? We had a fantastic community meeting last night, 200 people in a hall. I'll tell you what, the people of this city will not let the Labour Party bring in their local development plan. We had 24 people stay behind, committed and becoming community activists in effect. Now, if these proposals are approved by the Council and the Welsh Government, the quality of life for people in Cardiff will be destroyed. We'll have a situation where new communities will be created with 41,000 new dwellings, with the cars and the pollution, and possibilities of rail track running through communities, possibilities of a 2-lane bus highway and only one lane of traffic coming into the city from the west along Cowboys Road East, no cycling, a complete mess and a recipe for chaos. Also, what will happen if all the development is focused in Cardiff, the valleys will die. They're already saying that they're not going to build north of Pontypridd. If the Welsh Government approves Cardiff's LDP, they'll have no need to, because their pockets will be stuffed full of money by the development in Cardiff, overdeveloping our communities, concreting everything for miles on end, and giving us huge risks of flooding in the future. It's not a price worth paying, and I'm asking the Welsh Government to throw out the LDP. The solution is obvious. It's very, very obvious. As with economic development, with planning, we should have a regional approach. Also, there are thousands of empty houses in South Wales, 10,000, in fact, long-term empty properties. If we renovated those, we could virtually wipe out Cardiff's housing list. One thing that I'm going to promise this conference is that if the Welsh Government does not scrap the LDP, then politicians in this city will be held accountable. Now, we lack accountability in Wales. The First Minister can mislead our Senedd, and there's no accountability there. We see Pembrokeshire, we see Carmarthenshire. Where is the accountability? It's our job as Plaid Cymru, the Party of Wales, to hold them to account, and we will do that. In Wales, we need a government, really. We just need a government that will govern. And I'll tell you what, remember, one day we will show them how to do it. Finally, what an MEP we have in Jill Evans, a brilliant politician and Wales's only voice in Europe. So my message to you is let's get out there and get her re-elected. Gynhadledd, mae wedi bod yn pleser mawr. Diolch yn fawr a croeso i Caerdydd. Diolch.